Today we're talking Deshaun Watson, whose career has been quite the roller coaster. Deshaun Watson was the 12th overall pick in 2017 to play quarterback for the Houston Texans after playing his college ball at Clemson University. Watson's first year in the league was going well and he was on pace to produce some good numbers. But Deshaun's rookie year was cut short by an ACL tear after playing in 7 games as a rookie. Deshaun returned from his injury to play the Patriots in the 2018 season opener. The Texans would go on to lose that game, and Deshaun, in his first game back from his ACL tear, sustained some broken ribs and a partially collapsed lung. Despite injury trouble lingering through the 2018 season, he still had a great year and led the Texans to back-to-back division titles in 2018 and 2019. Then in 2020, Watson would end up leading the league in passing yards. All signs were pointing up as the young quarterback was approaching year 5 in the NFL. In 2021, after signing a big contract with the Texans, Watson was unhappy with the front office, unhappy enough to request a trade. As the standoff was going on between Deshaun and the Texans, some other things were brought into the equation. Watson was accused of harassment, and despite the allegations and turmoil with everything going on, Watson still participated in camp and was even expected to start the season. Though he wasn't officially suspended, Watson was taken out for the season for non-injury reasons / personal matter. Yada yada yada, more things ended up happening. But then Deshaun and a 6th-round pick were shipped to the Cleveland Browns. In return, the Texans received the Browns 2022, 2023, and 2024 first-round picks. The Texans also got the Browns 2023 third-rounder, paired with a couple of 4th-round picks in 2022 and 2024. That is an absurd haul. Since this trade, Deshaun Watson has played 12 games over his 2 seasons with the Browns. In 2022, he was suspended for 11 of the 17 games, and in 2023, Watson sustained a displaced fracture to the glenoid in his right shoulder. He has since underwent surgery and is expected to be back and healthy for 2024. I watched the tape, and Deshaun surprisingly still has some promise for the future. Deshaun's still very good at avoiding sacks, whether it's breaking tackles or moving to avoid being brought down behind the line. Watson stands real tall in the pocket and has the ability to read the pressure and find lanes and ways to escape the pocket, to extend plays and play even superhero at times. Another thing was his mobility. I think he's got some mobility, but not game-altering speed. There's just enough wheels in his game to extend plays, scramble, and even operate on quarterback draws and make sure the defense accounts for his speed in the red zone and on some 3rd down situations. He showed up big time behind his O-line and when he had to scramble and get out of some tough situations. Flashes some top quarterback play at times. It's not remotely consistent though, but he can play at a high level, especially when utilizing his very certain skill set to set defenses up, either using his legs or layering an impressive sideline ball, and even his great ability to escape and avoid chaos to keep a play alive. Deshaun on tape showed me a little bit more than I thought coming in, but I still saw plenty more bad than good on the tape over the last 2 seasons, which I initially expected coming in. 3rd down was a bit of a struggle for Watson. Now, it wasn't like he was the worst I've ever seen, and he did actually have a few nice 3rd down plays. There's plenty of snaps where I questioned what was he doing. Watson would just air out throws and completely miss. He'd dance and wait too long and just never get the ball out, and some of the decisions were quite questionable to say the least. Watching these games, there was a sense of insecurity while watching Watson. Some guys, you know, are rock solid and have a consistent approach, but I didn't feel that way when watching the Browns and Deshaun Watson operate. Watson could be good for a whole drive, but one play, all of a sudden, Watson goes out there and makes a brainless or reckless decision, or even if it's just missing a routine throw over the middle. You know the phrase sure-handed receivers? Well, Deshaun's not a sure-handed quarterback. You just don't know what you're getting play to play, and that could be tough to deal with. And the 2 fatal flaws that I see in Deshaun's game right now that he needs to clean up are 1, his eyes, and 2, constantly delaying the process. And we'll start talking about his eyes. Watson monitors and watches the rush a lot more than he should. On tape, not once did I see Watson keep his eyes up and make a subtle move in the pocket to adjust to pressure. He constantly keeps tabs on the line for himself so he can try to avoid the rush and deliver plays outside of the pocket instead of finding an outlet within the structure of the offense. Why would you want to take the focus off the play developing right in front of you to find yourself a backdoor out of the pocket to make a play off script, rather than diagnosing pre and post snap what you need to do from the pocket, keeping your eyes up and feeling pressure from the pocket and operating on schedule within a couple of seconds from the snap? We'll take a look at this play against the Baltimore Ravens where he's going to do a half-assed play action and he barely gets through it, does a very bad play fake, but you see him raise his eyes right away and then drop them just as quick as he pulled them up. He doesn't even give the play a chance to materialize. materialize. Instead, he drops his eyes and thinks he sees a lane to run the ball instead of sitting in the pocket and hopefully finding something. Looks like Harrison Bryant out in the flat is sitting right down on the first down marker. Yes, the defender is close, but that is still worth a shot. Instead, Deshaun wastes no time to drop his eyes, look at the rush, and see for himself on what he can do with his own legs. Ends up being a murky mess and just bobbling around in the pocket until eventually he's brought down by Jadeveon Clowney off the edge. And we're going to talk about his habit of constantly delaying the process. Continuously, Watson would take his drop and not let the damn ball go. I don't know if he's being coached to last in the pocket and being told to hold on to the ball for as long as he does, as that feels pretty unlikely. Is he hesitating? Is he struggling to process? Is he waiting to see the receivers open? I don't know. I just know that it feels that the ball should be gone sooner than it's going. It might even be out of habit. With how many times Watson has escaped a dirty pocket, you can speculate and say he's comfortable in a tight pocket or under pressure or whatever, but at some point surely you'd realize that it's better to throw the ball away or find your check down rather than dancing around trying to make a play and have a chance of losing yards for your team. On this play against the Cincinnati Bengals, obviously you're facing a very heavy defensive front, but even knowing and seeing that pre-snap, Watson's still going to take his precious time in the pocket, step up, and try to maneuver around. Meanwhile, he has a vertical concept going up the field with two of his receivers and Amari Cooper on a crosser with a runway to the first down marker, and there's not a defender near him. Watson fails to throw the ball or even get it out to anyone, despite what looks like making eye contact with Amari Cooper on his crossing route, and instead steps up and folds under the blitz and gets swallowed up. Watson just needs to get this ball out and maybe give his receiver a chance to run to that first down marker instead of passing up that opportunity and sitting behind the line under heavy pressure, mind you. This was one of the worst I've seen. I don't get the way his mind works in that situation, and I don't understand why he holds onto the football. And the fact that he was doing this routinely constantly put his team behind the line. Like I said earlier, I still think that there is an outside chance Deshaun Watson works out in this league. I just don't know if we'll ever see him in the top 5 quarterback conversation ever again, and he needs to do something soon, or else everybody, including his own team, are going to write him off. Maybe this year he has a comeback for the ages, but his trajectory doesn't really have it that way. We'll have to see what he does, and mind you, he's under heavy scrutiny all of the time because of his past, and so we'll have to see how his career and situation unfolds. And that'll be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and like, go down and subscribe, go watching the past content on the channel. It would mean a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.